But with that being said, let's jump in. I'm just looking at the agenda here. So I said we're going to be doing some icebreakers. Um, our role as your role as the iBASE mentor, learning about our new students, talking a little bit about academic integrity and cross-cultural awareness, and then some schedule finalization. iBASE Mentors, this is a brand new program. I'm really excited to be launching this summer. It is similar to some of the other volunteer programs we've had, somewhat like our Gear Peer Helper program, and kind of somewhat like one of our base rep volunteers, except it's very specific to base and iBASE at the moment. With everything going on with all the distance learning, we find that, you know, some students might be lost. They might be thinking, oh my gosh, like the online environment, I mean, I'm looking at a bunch of gray tiles because no one has their camera on, right? So, you know, am I alone here? What is going on? Am I getting the same experience that I would in person? The answer is, you know, they might not be getting the same experience. There's something to be said about being in person. I wish I was in a room with all of you so I could see your faces, I could see your expressions, I could talk to you, I could laugh, I could joke. But you know, at the moment it's fairly one way, and that's what the students will be experienced with online learning. You know, I'm doing my master's as well in business, entrepreneurship, and technology, and it was all online at UW. I know you've all experienced that right now. So it's important that with our new students in iBASE coming in, students who have never been a part of the UW community yet, but will be, you know, going on their journey over the next 4 or 5 years, that they really do feel a part of the UW community right from day one. And that's why I am so happy to see so many volunteers from iBASE and BASE joining us. You all possess the wisdom and the experience necessary to help with these experiences. You know, Ryan, AJ, and myself, we can only do so much by pointing resources. The peer leaders can only do so much by, you know, being there for the students. But with a mentor, someone who has been through the program, someone who has done all the courses, someone who is in the same program or faculty, you have so much more to give to these students that it is going to make a huge difference. And I hope you know that. So this is a really important volunteer opportunity. I really want you to know how impactful this will be to all the iBASE students. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind when we talk about the commitment, when we talk about all the other pieces that you'll be doing today, that you really will be helping out someone significantly this term. If you have any questions while I'm talking, please throw them in the chat. I have the chat window open in front of me. I think that makes it easiest. So anytime I'll try and answer a question as I go along. Okay, so what is your role as the iBASE mentor? Well, hopefully you read the time commitment and the requirements. It's very simple. We're asking you to commit 1 hour per week of your time. Not so bad, eh? You will be working one-on-one with a student. At the moment, there are 45 iBASE mentor volunteers, that's you. And currently there are 40 iBASE mentees, that's the students. So right at the moment, it's one-to-one, which is perfect. That's what we really want. We know we will be getting more iBASE students as the term approaches, but it's a couple weeks out, so they're probably a little shy and apprehensive. They don't quite know what the program is. So there may be a case where it might be you as a mentor might have more than one mentee, and that's okay. Part of the data collection I'll be asking for later is, are you comfortable with having more than one mentee? That would just, you know, double your time commitment to 2 hours a week, for example, right? But essentially, with that one-on-one experience, you're connecting with the students. You're being a positive ambassador for everything to do with the learning environment in iBASE, right? You're there to help them kind of see the light of why they're in iBASE, right? show them that iBASE is not a waste of time, that it, you know, helps build friendships, helps build networks, helps build very important university skills that someone coming into first year would not have. So you're always at an advantage after this piece. And really just saying that why Renison is doing this, why they're here. The other piece that I really want you to focus on is encouragement, right? So people, your students might feel bogged down. They might say, you know, the online work is hard. I'm super busy. I'm unmotivated. And your role there is to say, hey, don't worry about it. You know, it's 7 weeks. You know, you can get through this. You know, here are some of the resources I used. Here's some people I talked to. That kind of encouragement to get them out of any slump is always appreciated. And as I just mentioned there, the other piece to focus on are those resources. I've been at UW for many, many years now, through my undergrad, through my master's, through my work. I am still learning about a bunch of resources all the time. So something that may seem completely obvious to you, such as instructor office hours, might not be obvious to a brand new student. Something as simple as talking to the peer leaders, that might be something that, you know, when it was in person, you see your peer leaders in the hall, they want to chat, they smile at you, whatever. It's easy to make that connection. An iBASE student online might not really know they can reach out to the peer leader at any time to talk, right? If there's any academic resources, any social resources, please help out and link your mentee to those resources. And the last thing is, you're there to share your experience, both academically, you know, either through your program or your faculty, socially. What do you do at Waterloo? What are you doing at home? You know, if you're in Ecuador or Kazakhstan or China, Hong Kong, wherever you are, you can share that experience with them and kind of act as a friend, right? I mean, the goal here is to expand your professional network as well, right? Okay. So with that hour, we're asking you to complete it in a way that works for you and works for your mentee. The way we are going to be assigning your mentees is through a few factors, such as where you and the mentee are currently living. Ideally, we're going to try to place you with a mentee that's in the same time zone or very close to your time zone, but also with one that is in the same faculty or ideally the same program as you. So we really want to try and make that connection, and we're going to be working hard to make it as easy as possible for you to connect. That being said, there is always a slim possibility that your mentee is in China and you're in Waterloo and there's this 12-hour difference. That might make it hard to connect. We will work on strategies and resources through that when we check in through this program. That being said, lots of ways to connect. Social media apps, WeChat, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, iMessage, whatever you feel is appropriate for messaging your mentee. We can do video chat, it can be through Zoom, WebEx, FaceTime, whatever it might be. Email, if you want. I don't know how many people email anymore. I will leave that up between you and your mentee, whatever works best for you. That hour can be spread out throughout the week. So you could do a couple check-ins here and there, or it can be 1 hour in that week. Again, it's up to you. We don't want to stress you out. We don't want to stress the mentee out. If things need to ebb and flow, that's okay. Hope that makes sense, right? Okay, so what else we got to talk about? Okay, let's learn a little bit about our iBASE students. Um, Again, you'll be paired up eventually in a couple weeks as we figure this out. I'm just looking at a lot of our students here. There's a good mix between all the faculties, really, which is great. We had students, I'm just pulling up a graph here. iBASE mentees. About 42% of our students are in engineering. About 16% are in arts, with an additional 10% being in AFM. 10% are in applied health sciences, 13% in environment, 10% in sciences. So a pretty good mix. Generally speaking, we always have more engineers in the iBASE term. But with our mentors, we actually had about the same. We have a large portion of mentors that are in engineering, really strong arts, environment, and sciences, with only a couple in AHS. Yeah, sciences, 10% in sciences, a little bit low, I would say. Although we typically get more science students in the fall as well. Engineering is the heavy one for iBASE. Okay, just looking geographically where our students are, a large majority are in Ontario, which is great. I would say about 40% are in Ontario, 40% are in China, and then 20% are scattered around the world. So yeah, pretty interesting. So I think we'll be able to have a good mix with everybody there. All right, we're making good time. We have about 10 minutes left and I'm almost done here. Okay, I think I've covered everything to do with how you should connect to your mentor, your mentee. If any of that is unclear, you can let me know in an email. Again, I'll be reiterating this in another email out to everybody after this meeting. But I do have something really important to talk about in terms of academic integrity, cross-cultural awareness, and the professional development that surrounds that. So the first bit is you might not be paired with someone who is from the same country as you. We like to mix it up. I mean, where's the fun in meeting someone from Waterloo when you live in Guelph, right? I want to meet someone from all the way on the other side of the world. That being said, I want you all to be aware of any cultural differences that you may have between you and your mentee. You know, this could be a language barrier, right? This could be a cultural barrier. This could be a time zone barrier. Lots of different things can make this a little bit awkward to navigate at first. I ask you all to practice patience while working with your mentee, right? They are in a brand new environment. They are going to be apprehensive. They're going to be anxious. They're, do they have any friends right now? Do they have anyone to reach out to? They could feel lonely. That might make someone defensive in some ways. I really encourage you to practice patience, practice active listening, right? Hear what their problems, issues are, and try and share your experience that helps cope with those. Keep in mind, different cultures have different ways of greeting people. Someone might not smile as much. Someone might not wave. That's okay. I want you to help evoke what Renison is all about. Inclusivity and that, what's the best way to say it? I don't know. Work with a smile, okay? Give them a smile, make them feel reassured, make them feel that they know you are there for them. The other piece with this is academic integrity. By being UW students, you are all bound by academic integrity. Our mentees are brand new. They are not aware yet of academic integrity at a university level. That means don't share your homework and your previous assignments with your mentee. right? I hope it's that simple. I don't know how much in the iBASE program translates over year within the program, but there'll be similarities, right? There might be similar assignments, similar worksheets, etc. The point of going to iBASE or BASE is to learn. And if you just hand them a stack of papers and say, yeah, this is what I did in iBASE, they're not going to learn anything. You're going to be harming their academic experience, right? Similarly, if they ask you to do your homework, right, you're under no obligation to do that, and please don't, right? I know none of you will. It's just something we have to say. This is a learning opportunity for the iBASE students. Let them learn. You are here just to help guide through any minor issues and point them to the correct resources. Okay, I think that's about it for any of the pressing matters with academic integrity, cross-cultural awareness. I'm going to move on lastly to the final schedule finalization. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so our iBASE students start in mid-July. So they have their orientation July 6th, and then they start the following week, July 13th. That means there's still a little bit of time as we wait for applications to come in. I believe the applications end for the mentee program the Friday of that July 6th week. That means you won't get your schedule until a little bit later. You won't get introduced to your mentee until a little bit later. But I do need a little bit more information from you. So in an email that I will be sending out after this meeting is over, I will be sending a survey link. I really need you to complete that survey link. It is going to be like 3 questions. It's going to ask you where you're joining us from for the summer term, right? So we know what time zone you're in. We also just need to know if you're comfortable with more than one mentee. There might be a couple other questions that Ryan comes up with, but those are the basic ones. So very simple, but I do need that information. So as soon as you get that email from me, if you can complete that quick survey right away, I would really appreciate it, and that would help us move things forward. Okay. I'm just going to give a very quick summary, and then we're out 5 minutes early, so I'm happy about that. Okay. So quick summary. You'll be waiting a couple of weeks to hear who your mentee is. If you have any issues with staying in the program, maybe you got a job during the summer that's too much of a time commitment, or something else comes up, just email me privately, let me know. It's not a problem. 1 hour a week, you will sort that with your mentee about the best way to meet with them. Please make sure that you're always a positive ambassador for Renison and the BASE and iBASE program, right? We really want this to be a positive environment for you to share the reasons why BASE and iBASE is valuable, to share resources, to encourage their academic growth, and to help them through these rough patches that might happen with online learning. Just remember, you have a lot of experience, right? Some of you are in your last year. Some of you are in your first year. It doesn't matter. You all have the same thing in common, which is going through BASE and iBASE, right? Please use that knowledge, help someone out, give back to the community. They will be so much better for it, okay? 7-week program. This ends just before September. Okay, and at the end of September, you'll all get a nice letter of reference signed by us at ELI. And if you need anything else from us, please just let me know. We're here to help you as well, especially for you helping us. Okay, that is it for me. Thank you so much. I will keep the feed live for a couple more minutes if you want to ask a question. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me for this training. I'm so excited for this mentor program. Okay, bye everybody.